If you are freaking out and you don't know the priority rules, then definitely keep watching, because I'm gonna give you some priority rules that you need to know for your CBR car theory exam. Before you start watching, give a blue thumb up and also subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any other new video. And also go follow us on social media so you get more and more information for your car theory exam. If you want to know all the car theory exams and all the questions that are gonna be asked, go to www.theoriestart.nl so you don't miss any question and you pass in one go for your car theory exam. Let's start. When do you have priority? When does someone else has priority? Who has priority? Do you know this? I think you know it, but I'm gonna explain all the specific rules. First, I want you to have a look at these 4 signs. On the left, you see the shark teeth. Do you remember what it means? If you have this sign in front of you, all the traffic that is intersecting you has priority. But for pedestrians, there are different rules. Memorize this. When does a pedestrian has priority? If you see a pedestrian from his front or from his back, then it means that the pedestrian has priority. So you see his face or you see the back of his head, then the pedestrian always has priority. Okay? If you see the pedestrian from his side, then it means that you have priority. How does this work exactly? Well, if you see him from his front or from his back, then it means that the pedestrian is gonna be intersected by you. If you see him from his side, then it means that the pedestrian is intersecting you. Well, if you are intersecting the pedestrian, then it means that the pedestrian has priority. So just remember, do I see him or her from the side? Then I have priority. Do I see him from his front or from his back? Then he has priority. The same rule applies to the stop sign that you see. So if you have the stop sign in front of you, then again you have a look. Do I see the pedestrian from his front? Then the pedestrian has priority. Do I see him from his back? Then again the pedestrian has priority. Do I see him or her from his or her side? Then I have priority. The other sign on the left that you see is a priority sign. And if you see this sign, then it means that you have priority to anyone that wants to intersect you. So you see this yellow sign, then remember, you always have priority. The sign next to it, this warning sign, is also telling you that you have priority. But it's warning you that there are roads that are gonna intersect, but they do not have priority. You have priority. You are there on the thick lane, and the thin lanes have to give you priority. So the 2 signs that you see next to each other, the yellow one and the other one, have the same meaning. They both tell you that you have priority. These 4 rules you also have to understand completely. These 4 rules are very easy to use and very easy to memorize. So memorize all of them. Rule number 1. All the vehicles that come from your right side on an equivalent intersection have priority. So if you are on an equivalent intersection, you always have to lend priority. So you have to give priority to the vehicles that come from your right side. Rule number 2. If you have oncoming traffic, okay, then the vehicle that wants to make a turn has to give priority to the vehicle that wants to go straight ahead. So if you want to go straight and your oncoming traffic wants to make a turn, then you go first. If you want to make the turn, then the vehicle that wants to go straight goes first. If you both want to make a turn, then the short band goes first and after the long band goes. So if this is a short band and this is a long band, then first the short band goes and after the long band goes. The last rule is the vehicles with a stop sign or a shark teeth in front of them always go in the end. Let's practice them in a couple of samples and I'm sure that you will understand all of them. Okay, let's start. In which order should these vehicles proceed? Well, you see that the tram is going straight. You have a stop sign in front of you. So the tram goes first, obviously, because you have the stop sign in front of you. And that was rule number 4. If you have a stop sign or shark teeth in front of you, then you always have to land priority. But with trams, there is also another rule that you have to memorize. Trams always go first, unless you have a priority sign in front of you. So if you do not have a priority sign, then you should always give priority to a tram. So here, in this sample, you are gonna go straight, the tram wants to make a turn. So normally you might think that you have priority, but in this case, because it's a tram, the tram goes first. So what is the right order? B, A. Does the military column always have priority? No is the answer. They do not always have priority. Well, here another question. You want to go straight ahead. Does the tractor get priority? The answer is obviously no. But why no? Because he's coming from your right. He's coming from the right side. But you also see that he is not coming from a normal road. He's coming from a grass field. And if they come from a road or field like this, then they always have to give everyone priority before they enter the road, because they're not on the road yet. So you have priority in this case. Which statement is true here? A. You have to give priority to A and B. B. Only to A, or C only to B. Here on the left you see an old lady that cannot really walk well, and they always have priority. And on the right you see someone who is blind, and blind people also always get priority. So here in this case you have to give both of them priority. So people that cannot really walk well always get priority, and blind people always get priority. So yes, you have to give both of them priority. Well, now let's start with intersections. This is not an equivalent intersection. Why? Because not all of them have the same signs in front of them. You see A and B, they both have shark teeth in front of them, and C doesn't have any signs in front of him. So this first of all means that C goes first, because as I told you, people with shark teeth in front of them always go the latest. So number 1, C goes first. So we already know that the answer is A. C, B, A. But why does B go first? Does A go second? To this the answer is as following. B goes straight and A wants to turn. And that's why B goes first. The last question, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to answer down below yourselves, so I can see if you know the right answer. And if someone sees that someone else is making a mistake, please help each other by telling each other the right answer. If you want to know all the CBR questions, then go to www.theoriestar.nl so we can tell you all the CBR questions that you need to know for your car theory exam, and you pass in one go. And also go follow us on social media, so you get more and more information for your car theory exam. And give a blue thumb up and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see us next week as well. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.